people what you eating and showing people where you at. And then you look back and you behind on your bills and you calling somebody who strive hard, who work hard, who manage their money, who prioritize their life, and then you want to treat them like they owe you something because of the predicament and the situation that you in. That is not how it works. I have not worked the 5 years that I have worked. I have not traveled all of these places. I have not made all of these videos. I have not read all the information that I have read. I have not studied the word that I have studied the word. I have not done all the research that I've done online, offline, however, wherever I got the research. I have not sit on the phone with people for hours at a time, networking, getting information, learning things. I have not learned and soaked all of these things up to give them to somebody who feel that they don't have to do it. And I don't care if it's mama, daddy, daughter, brother, sister, cousin, friend. I don't care who it is. I didn't put all of this work in, the same work that you can do, the same effort you can make. For you to feel like, oh, they got it, so I can just go and get it. No. Now, and that's how I feel like I get treated a lot of times when it comes to not just my mom, but a lot of people. But this video is particular about my mom. Now, I don't know why she's went. I don't know the reason she'll say we've went a month, but that's what it came from for me. We were just fine until you asked me for $125. Man, everybody know I shoot it straight. My mama know I shoot it straight. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no video to drag my mama. I'm just saying there's a such thing as parental entitlement. And a lot of parents don't like to take accountability and responsibility for their actions. So after I had been home a couple of months, look, check this out. We sit in the living room, we talking. It go from the living room, it go to my sister, it go to my mama's room. As we sitting in my mama's room, my sister and my mama having a heated conversation about something. And in this moment, I felt like my sister was trying to express a lot of things she have not been able to express because she didn't have somebody around that can help get my mama to see what she was trying to say. Because 9 times out of 10, my mama probably had been gaslighting her. A lot of parents don't believe that they do that, but you do. And you be wrong. Because your child is trying to tell you something they seen with their own eyes, heard with their own ears, and you trying to distort their reality and make it as if it's not what they seen and what they heard. They know what they seen, they know what they heard, and they know what they felt, and you trying to take that away from them. You trying to take their voice away from them, and you try to tell them they need to stay in the child's place. And then when they grow up later on down the line, you wonder why they feel the trauma that they feel. You wonder why they not as affectionate in their relationship. You wonder why they don't know how to show genuine love in their relationship. You wonder why they got trust issues in their relationship. You wonder why they don't know how to be as vocal and don't have a voice in their relationship because it was stripped away from them, from their parents. I learned this from my parents. I carried this into my friendships. I carried this into my relationship. A lot of parents wonder why their children gossip because they watch their parents gossip. They watch you sit on the phone, talk about A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z. They watch you talk about what went on in work and why it went on in work and who's sleeping with who and who doing what. And then your children sit around and they hear that. And then you wonder why they are the way that they are because they soaked it up from you. And see, that's what a lot of parents don't want to take responsibility for. They wait for you to get grown and then say you grown and not know you contributed to the behavior, to the character. You contributed to the mindset that I have. That came from you. I was around you all the time. I was around you. So look, check this out. So while my mom and them having this conversation, it pops off. And when it popped off, I was so shocked, I was stunned. I couldn't even move. I hadn't even been home 30 days. I'm watching my sister and my mama get into it. I took a deep breath. I'm for one, my heart, I said, love my mama to death, but at that time, I kind of took my sister's side because I understood my sister's pain. I understood my sister hurt. And even though I had been gone for 10 years, I was watching my sister express and feel what I also feel. I can't speak for my brother because he ain't never spoke on it. But I was watching my sister, so immediately I come to the defense of my sister. I'm like, honey, y'all need, wait up on my sister. Because I watched my mama again deflect away from responsibility. You didn't take responsibility for your actions. And then even when that happened, I brought up, I said, Mom, you was messing with a dope boy. Right then and there, my mama said, I didn't know he was selling dope. I said, that is amazing. You mean to tell me your 8, 9, 10-year-old son or 13, 14-year-old son knew this man was selling dope. You was with him for years. All these people that pulled up, all of these dice games, all this stuff that we bought, you think he paid for it with just a job. You never knew. She said, I never knew. Even when I told her I got molested, when I told her I got molested by a family, by one of my cousins, it was no, I hate that happened. I'm sorry that happened. It was no embracement. It was no hug. There was no affection. There was no love. It didn't, not saying that she didn't care, because I do get she probably does not know how to show that. But it does not, if you know you struggle with that as a parent, you need to learn how to fight through that as a parent. Because even though I'm grown, if I'm saying I was molested, I need some affection. I need a hug. I need to feel something. And guess what she said? She ain't never came down there and babysitted y'all. Do you know what that feel like? Do you know what that's a form of gaslighting too? I tell you something that happened to me that I vividly remember just as well as I vividly remember everything else. And you want to tell me that it did not happen. Not only that, you want to remove the person that I said done it to me from my reality. That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting and probably a tad bit narcissism and controlling. You try to get me to say to myself, maybe it didn't. No, it did. It did. And that's why I slept with all of the women that I slept with. That's why I was chasing after sex the way I was chasing after sex. Not only did you try to take away from that I was molested by somebody that you put under our roof, but you also, that means I have to reevaluate again the root of my issues. I know where they came from. They came from the person who molested me, which was my cousin, which was the babysitter that y'all brought down to the house. That's what happened. And as a child, that hurt. That's another layer of trauma. And see, parents, for some reason, don't understand or get it. They feel like even when you grow, a lot of parents won't even have a real deal conversation with their kids. You know why? Because they don't feel like they owe it to you. They feel like it's parental entitlement. They feel like they don't have to explain their trauma to you. They don't have to explain their hurt to you. They don't have to explain why they moved the way they moved and did the things they did to you. You know why? Because they still broken. You know why? Because they still hurt. You know why? It's because they haven't healed. And for some reason, some parents have become jealous of their children. They'll become envious of their children because their children have strived and have been determined to become better than who raised them. And when they see you in a better place mentally, better place physically, better place spiritually, parents seem to know how to hit your buttons. They know how to hit your triggers. They know how to do certain things that'll make you, that'll hurt you, and it'll put you into a certain mindset. So what I have created boundaries when it comes to my mama. You know what I'm saying? I got boundaries with my daddy as well. Don't get it twisted now. That might get a little worse. You know what I'm saying? That may get a little worse. Now, but I've learned patterns of both of them. My daddy, I was around my daddy. Do you know how many times I heard my mama tell me, boy, you just like your dad? And I was never able to understand it until I got in the cell with my father. And when I got in the cell with my father, I watched how he moved and did certain things. I watched how he could be manipulative. I watched how he could take advantage of people. I watched how he can be conniving. I watched how he could be narcissistic. I watched how he can be controlling. I watched how he could be nonchalant. I watched how he can be as cold-hearted. And a lot of them things I was like, And I was allowed in that moment to see. And in that moment you're allowed to see. You either step in or you step out of it. And I chose to step out of it. I chose to get better. Not saying that I'm completely there. I chose to say, I can manipulate this situation. I know I can. I see I can. I'm not gonna do it. I don't say I choose not to every time. Because I'm straight up with you. I'm honest with you. I still got a lot of street ways in me. I still got a lot of things that I fight through. I still can turn on the opportunistic eye. I still can see it. Because in this world, I understand at certain times it's just like, man, you gotta get through it though. You gotta make that happen. And sometimes I choose yes. But sometimes I realize if you choose yes on that, it's gonna take you back down that hole. It's times I could take advantage, even when it comes to this platform. You know why? I could drop 10, 15 videos a day. I could get on TikTok, drop 10, 15 TikToks a day. But let me tell you something. I got two vices in the world. It's money and women. And when it comes to selling books, I know I'm good at it. And I don't say that from no prideful place. I'm saying it because I'm being honest. And I know it the same way with hustling. I hustle leverage. I'm a hustler at heart. But guess what I've learned though? But just because I switched the hustle and turned it into a different form, it does not mean that it can't become something bad. This can become something bad too. Because I can get the same spirit of greed that I did in selling dope. And the minute that I feel like that, I always understand, take a step back and chill. Take a step, I check me. I don't need nobody to check me. Just like I said, I seen certain things in my dad. I know, I could be conniving. Let me step back. Let me step back. Same thing with this, with my platform. You getting caught up. Take a step back. That's greed. Take a step back. My mama, them boundaries, she coming in close. I love it when she come in close. Love it when we talk a lot. Love it when she checking on me. Love it because some of the stuff I never had. But sometimes when she called to check on me, I know when I get off the phone 30 minutes later, I'm gonna get her a text message and say, I need some money. So I know when to, let me take a step back. She called me before this happened about 2 months ago. And when she called me to check on me about something that was going on the internet. And when we were going on the internet, when we got off the phone, she said, I love you, son. And when she said it, I said, huh. I said, love you too. Not saying that she don't say she loved me every time we got off the phone. But it was something about that one. I called my sister as soon as I got off the phone. Britt. I said, Mama finna ask me for some money. She said, why you say that? I said, I could just tell. It's just the way she got off the phone and said she loved me. She called me like she was checking on me, said me this, and that. Told me, boy, you need to quit all that stuff and this, and that. And then she said, I love you. I'll talk to you later. She got off the phone. I said, Brittany, she finna ask me for some money. I got the receipt in my phone right now. It wasn't an hour later. She said, I need $150. That's the pattern. So I create the boundary. But if I call and try to have this conversation, it won't be the attack. Because I have a lot of us have it. I have a way of trying to, I want you to be better. It's when you striving to be better, you want other people to be better. Not saying that I'm great, not saying that I'm perfect, but I pray that there's people around me because the scriptures say, faithful are the wounds of a friend, deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. I'd rather you tell me the truth and risk our friendship, risk whatever it is we have, than kiss me on the cheek like you a Judas and send me out there with the wolves. Some people don't know how to receive that when you're shooting it straight, because we live in a world where people are so deceptive. People, it's so much deception, you'd rather people lie to you than tell you the truth. You'd rather me let you walk around with a booger in your nose than me say, hey, you got a booger in your nose and then you think I'm picking on you. It's crazy. So I've learned, like, me and my mama, like, we have a decent relationship. You know what I'm saying? But it's only on the strength of, and this ain't easy to talk about, but I know it's so many people going through it. And as a vessel of the Most High, I've come to understand this. When the scriptures say, whoever does the will of my mother, whoever does the will of my father is my mother and my brother. I ain't saying that my mama ain't in the will. But what we have to come to understand as believers, when he say, we overcome by the blood and the word of our testimony, this is a testimony as well. Whether it's my mama, whether it's my daddy, whether it's a testimony I may have to tell about my relationship with my daughter one day, and I got a great one at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of who I'm speaking on, this is a part of my life. These are things that affected me, and these are ways that I have corrected myself because of things that happened to me. They come from that. So, because when they knocked on the door, they told the Messiah, they said, your mother and your brother is outside. Some people won't write their book right now because they don't want to expose their parents. They don't want to expose their uncle. They don't want to expose their auntie. It's too many people, not saying that my mama is a monster, because we all have had an ugly situation. We've all been ugly to somebody. I've been ugly. And if you've read my book, then you know I've been ugly. So I don't speak on these things and say I've been perfect and this other person wasn't. But so many of us have things that we need to speak on that'll help us get to a healthy place, but we don't speak on it because we still want to protect. It ain't about protecting. It's about you being honest. It's about you telling the truth. Because if somebody done dealt with the same thing, probably with the same relative, probably in a friendship, probably on their job, and you feel like you need to keep it private. But let me tell you something. If you done prayed on it, and the Most High gave you permission to speak on it, you scared for it. That's my mama. I love her to death. But sometimes she just don't want to take accountability and responsibility and be honest and say, you know what? I made a mistake. And really, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. All it takes.